Hello there again. Welcome to call 3 for new stylist training and our treasure tribe with Park Lane Jewelry. My name is Christy Goodman. I am a company vice president, and I'm super excited to share with you today two of my favorite things, which are hostess coaching your hostesses to have the most successful show possible, as well as what do you do in your show opener and what's the flow of your show. So let's jump right in and get started so you can have lots of success. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Back to this Success Looks Gorgeous on You brochure that comes in your starter kit. If you haven't gotten your starter kit yet, you will. Good for you for doing this training beforehand. But this is why I like to share the screen. So I'm going to scroll through. Actually, we've already gone through several of these pieces on our calls number 1 and 2. But this is where I'm going to start today for call number 3, and it is with coaching your style show coaching for style show success, which we also call hostess coaching. Hostess coaching is all about helping your hostess have the most success for her show. You're the expert, although you're thinking, Christy, I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing. You're the expert, and she needs your tips. So the tips that I'm going to share with you, I encourage you to share with her so that you can help her have the most successful show possible. So first, get to know her. You probably know why she's doing it. It may be one of your first shows and she's doing it because she loves you, and that's the reason. Or it may be something that somebody you thought to reach out to because you know she loves accessories. Or maybe she's having a wedding and you know that it would be helpful to her to have a show and get $400 in free product for wedding accessories and for bridesmaids and so forth. So there's some reason why she's doing this for you. Maybe she just loves to entertain and she wants to make a bottle of pitcher of sangria. So get to know her. And we joke sometimes about making your hostess your best friend for the next few weeks. And I don't really mean that like you're calling her every day, but make it genuine. Let her get to know you. She's probably one of your friends initially, but as you get going in this business, there'll be people that you meet at shows. And I'm hoping that the first show you do, you're booking a show with a stranger, because maybe one of your friends brought her, or maybe you met her at one of your friend's shows and she loved the jewelry so much that she wanted to do a show to get more free jewelry. So get to know her, be genuine, and let her get to know you and why you're doing this business. The second thing is gift her a hostess packet. So a hostess packet is just an envelope of goodies that will help her have a successful show. There is another video in our Treasure Tribe files under the new Stylist 411 that shows exactly what we put in a hostess packet. So I won't go through that, but you will want to give that to her to help her just to get excited about her show. It's like when you give somebody something, it feels more real and they're less likely to cancel on you due to maybe some other circumstance. So next, you want to talk to her about her invitations. We highly suggest doing 3 points of contact on your invites. Again, in our new Stylist 411, in the files in our Treasure Tribe page, we share examples of a save the date. We share examples of an evite, but we suggest doing a save the date through email, then getting her email addresses and doing an evite, and then texting reminders. Now, there may be some people that say, oh, Christy, I only do Facebook, or I use Facebook the most. Facebook is fine, but what I will tell her is Facebook can also be overused. And so I suggest let's do a backup as well. So maybe texting and Facebook. But the real key here is to do 3 points of contact because it takes reminding people, but also to have her invite at least 40 plus people to her show. Because what that does is you're going to get about a fourth of the people to attend. And so help her think about that guest list. Help her think, neighbors because they're nosy and they'll come. Help her think about maybe she goes to the gym, some coworkers, maybe some of her kids' friends' parents. Help her think through her life because you've kind of gotten to know her. Maybe she told you her son does soccer. What about some of the soccer moms? Because initially she's just going to be thinking about her 3 besties. So help her expand that list because I have found that 80% of the people that attend a show are from the B list, which sounds rude. I don't mean it that way, but they're not their besties. So help her expand her list and really give her that number of 40 so that you have the higher chance of having a successful show, helping her have a successful show, and getting those 10 orders that we talked about on the last call. Our goal is 10 orders so that her hostess rewards bump up to $40 an order. And those orders can come from somebody that worked that couldn't make it, or her mom and Miami that ordered on our website because she just wanted to support her daughter. Doesn't matter, but we need 10 orders. Okay, so coach her through who to invite. And that's this part of the inviting the guest. And then it says on here, which I love, encourage her to bring guests to bring a friend. Because I know at my first show, one of my guests brought her sister. Her sister spent $400 and was one of my first bookings after that. So you just don't know who is going to be your next booking or your favorite shoppers. So encourage them to bring a guest. So keep in contact with her. I try to touch base with my hostess about once a week. It could just be through a simple text like, hey girl, so excited to bring these earrings to your show, and I take a little selfie or something. Or maybe it is just something I genuinely thought of her for. But I do put those little reminders on my calendar so I can keep her excited and engaged in planning the show. I also like to touch base about a week ahead. I will look at where her invite list is, who has viewed the evite, because all times, there are people that have not viewed the invite, and that's normal. They're looking at it on their phone in the grocery line or at work, and then their boss walks in or whatever. And so having her then personally call or text those people or email them and remind them, hey girl, I sent you an evite. I saw you haven't viewed it yet. Just wanted to bring it to your attention because I'd love for you to come. If you do this step, you will have more people attend the show. And then a couple of days before or the day before, I send her a text message to text out to all her guests, because everyone looks at their phone, and I guarantee you'll get one or two more people that'll say, oh, I'll be there. So I have her do that, and I share with her words so she doesn't have to come up with them on her own. And I will also share the link with her to have her friends shop. So if they can't come, she can text them that link, and they could shop online toward her show if they are interested. So that is my last minute coaching, as well as letting her know what time I'll be at her show. I usually get there about 20 or 30 minutes before. I will tell her to wear something super simple so we can have her be the model and have fun with it. And then I tell her that to keep the refreshments very simple. So I'll say, something sweet, something savory. But the reality is the more there is to eat, the less people shop. And the more expensive it looks to host a show and more time consuming, the fewer people that will book. So if it looks super simple, then you're going to have more bookings because it doesn't look expensive or time consuming. It looks super simple and easy to do. So those are our goals of the show. So that's before the show. So once we get to the show, how do we have a successful show? So what I love is Park Lane has provided all of us these style show cards. They come in your starter kit. They are brilliant. And they are going to go through all of this that I'm just going to quickly touch on to bring your attention to. But you are going to, when you follow this in your show opener, you are going to have success and bookings. And here's our goals for the show: sales, bookings, and team building. So when you follow this, you will have that. So I typically will tell the hostess before while I'm setting up, once we're about 20 minutes in or 30 minutes in, when we feel like the majority of the people are here, I'll do a show opener, and I'll kind of tell a little bit about Park Lane and the programs that they can take advantage of. And she'll be like, okay, I might say, you help me kind of get everybody's attention because they know you, and they're going to listen to you. So I do that. So then I will follow the cards. Very simple. In the opening, introduce myself. I always thank the hostess. I remind them how we met, because if I met her at another show, I want them to realize, oh, this is how she does this. So that is a booking seed. Oh, I met Julie at Sarah's show, and she loves so much, we decided to book a show. I also introduce myself. I tell a little bit about my story, which is so key, so they get to know you. Tell I have 2 little girls, how I got into the business, how I did this on top of a full-time job, all these kind of things, so that they realize who I am as a person, and I become more than just the salesperson. I also hand out wish lists, so that they can, a pen, so that they can start jotting things down. I want everybody to have their own wish list. And we always talk about the lucky 7, having them enter 7 items to take advantage of the sale. And then we'll work our magic, as well as cross things off if they need to. So then I tell a little bit about Park Lane. Okay. And that's number 2 on the little cards, because I want them to know about Park Lane. I want people walking away going, that's a neat company that was started by this couple when they were in their teens, or wow, that they've been around for 62 years, and they're the longest standing direct sales jewelry company out there. So I want them to know a little bit about Park Lane so they connect to more than just the jewelry. Then I explain the customer sale, because seriously, it's probably one of the best things about Park Lane. So at that point, they've probably seen several things that they love, and I want them to know about the sale. Then I talk about one of the things I was so impressed when I joined the company, about the host rewards program, because there's going to be several things that they love and all the things that the hostess is going to get. And so if they're thinking about some things, I would love to come and do a show for them so that they can take advantage of all the host benefits. But I do highlight several of them. I talk about the everybody gets a piece from the $19 item when you host, or $19 thank you list, and I'll pull up the little brochure. In fact, I don't have that brochure in front of me, but I'll pull it out and I'll show you'll get to pick any of these items for $19. And I typically will put several of those pieces on guests so I can point out those. I'll talk about how they get to shop for free, how they get half off, how they can shop the hostess exclusive boutique, and also how any bookings that happen that night, how the hostess gets additional credit, because it's impressive how much people get. Okay, so I share all of those things. And then I also talk about the team building aspect, which is really more about my personal story, but there are some tips in here that can help you, and you use what you're comfortable with about what really drew you into Park Lane. I love to share how this is like a ground floor opportunity right now, how Park Lane is at a phase in their business where they are looking for people to join this company and start that third generation of stylists. So if anybody has ever been interested in jumping in with a company where it's ground floor, that is where we are with Park Lane right now, because so few people have heard of it, but it's an established company that has so much success, and they know what motivates customers and stylists. So it really has tons of history to know we'll have a super bright future. And so if they want to be a part of that, definitely you can answer questions or chat with them later. So then it comes into the styling of the guest. And I usually have, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 pieces that I know are my top sellers that I want to highlight. And I go through some of those. There's some fun little tips to read off, like long neck necklaces make you look like you've lost 10 pounds. I think that's always fun for people to know. So it helps. And then the little style cards also talk about booking and team building seeds, things that you can say like, oh my gosh, this item is one of our thank you items that hostesses can purchase for only $19. If somebody's pointing to that necklace, you could say it. Or a lot of my hosts choose this item for free with their hostess credit. Or, oh my gosh, yes, I got all of this jewelry with my kit when I joined. Can you believe I got so much jewelry? That's a sponsoring seed. Or, oh, this item, yes, I received this through our monthly free jewelry program. I got this for free from Park Lane. So that people realize you didn't have to go spend on all of this, that a lot of it you earned as well. So those are sponsoring seeds. So, and then you just work with your guests individually, help style them, help them with their wish list, and help them understand how to work the specials. So in closing, in the back, it also talks about sharing what your hostess has earned toward the end of the night. When the customers know, oh my gosh, Julie just earned $400, or she just earned $200 in free product. How fun was that? And this was so simple, that they will have more interest in doing one themselves. So I usually do that when there are like a couple of people still left and I've had a chance to kind of figure it out. And many times I will share with the hostess as well, okay, just FYI, so this is worth my while. I just earned $300 tonight drinking wine with you guys. So letting them hear those little nuggets or seeds that might make them go, okay, I think I want her gig. So this is brilliance. And I love that Park Lane has put this together for us. So I wanted to point this out so you could take advantage of it as well. So I'm hoping, I don't think there's anything more. Oh, this just goes into the same things that are on your style card. We talk about follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up, okay? Your customers, there's several things you can do here. It talks about sending her a thank you note. Talks about calling your customers the week that they get their jewelry and confirming. Follow-up is key. When you treat your customers like they're special, it is rare, and they remember it. And so staying in contact with them through a phone call, through a text message, asking them to join your VIP page, testing them a thank you image, it really builds that relationship. So then when we have a special or something, you can do some personal reach out and help them shop. So I'm hoping that this, call number 3, helped you guys get more comfortable. Here, I'm going to stop the screen share. Help you guys get more comfortable with coaching your hostesses, as well as the flow of a show and knowing how to do your show opener and having confidence for selling more, booking more, and sponsoring to build your team. So thank you so much for joining call number 3. Have a great day. Wish you so much success.